Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to an absolute gem inside of the British premium line, and that is the Rooikat 105, bat rating 8.7, rank 6 premium, and it is so much better than the Challenger DS, which is a full bat rating above it, and it also has to do with the gun. The mobility is awesome, but we have to talk about because there are some unexpected issues. And why do you show us so many premiums lately of rank 6 napalm? What's going on? Well, simply I have to finish the grind on many vehicles before we reach the end of October, where then we get massive discounts civilian wise on tech 3 vehicles. And on this note, I also want to make you aware again that a lot of premiums and packages will be for sale with big discounts, hopefully. And don't buy the Challenger DS. Don't. Do not. No. Shot Call Dalet, I guess it's no longer available. And that only leaves the Rooikat 105. But the Rooikat 105 is awesome. It's great. And it's at lower battle rating. That means less infestation with night battles and more open killing grounds. Fantastic. You also could go with the Centurion Mark V AVRE because it's really satisfying. The king of derps, if you just slap somebody that he respawns dead already again, awesome. But it's only rank 5, so rank 6 where you can research the entire tech tree. Rooikat 105 it is, and what a beauty it is. When this came out, I just couldn't believe that now the British have something with speed. Can you believe that? And we have a wheeled light tank that has all the gems, that has all the gimmicks, that has very good gun handling at first, and well, it has paper for armor. It's mostly there to keep the crew from falling out. Horsepower to ton ratio is around 20, just under 20 actually, and that makes it all surprising how much speed you can get out of this. And I'm not just talking about the top speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Now for that, you have to go in a straight line on a paved road for quite a while, but eventually you actually can reach it. And if you give it time over medium terrain in the open fields of Poland, for example, you also can easily reach 60, 65, maybe even 70 kilometers per hour, and that is really fast. Reverse is 35 kilometers per hour, which is good enough. Well, actually, it's 37, pardon me. And let's talk about the gun handling before we talk more about the mobility, because it comes now together. We have the 105mm GT7 cannon with 32 rounds of ammunition, and that's basically an L7, so standard 6.7 second reload. We also have a turret that is mounted more conventionally in the middle of the vehicle, not in the back like the VRCC, so that gives us a whopping 10 degrees of gun depression and 20 degrees of gun elevation. 40 degrees per second turret rotation speed is obviously really nice. And then we have the real bummer, and that is 5 degrees per targeting vertical speed. That feels really slow on this tank, and to a certain degree it obviously is. And it also gets artificially enhanced because the stabilizer works usually very well, but it gets a bit twitchy at speed, even at 40, 50 kilometers per hour, and that is definitely not helped by the suspension, because that's the thing that really is the big dent in the mobility department of this thing. This is a really jumpy car that absolutely hates any sort of bumpy road. You very often get airborne, at least that I don't think I've ever received in ever experienced in any other wheeled tank. So off you go into the skies and hate yourself. Honestly, it's really the suspension and the turning circle, and when you try to turn at speed, this is just hilarious. It feels like basically a muscle car. You can go fast, but don't bother turning. Just don't. The best way to turn is to crash into a wall at speed and then reverse and change direction that way. It's really surprisingly bad. So what about the ammunition? This is where we get into known territories. Well, first of all, we get the standard NATO 105 heat, 400 millimeters of penetration, the Hesh, 127 millimeters of penetration and rarely used. And next to the DM23, we have the DM33, 408 millimeters of penetration and 1455 meters per second muzzle velocity, and that is a really reliable, capable shell that goes through the majority of armor that you will face. And so we have it, the Rooikat, armor to keep the crew from falling out, check. Good gun handling overall, check. Mobility amazing, but with a little bit of a learning curve, check. What else do we got? Well, as you saw throughout the gameplay, we have obviously thermal imaging, which is great, and you also have a laser rangefinder, which is also great. You do not get a laser warning receiver though, and you also have a drone like all light tanks. And yeah, you also have your smoke grenades. You don't have smoke shells though, but you also have an ESS, an engine smoke system. So this allows the tank to be versatile enough, but it's not really outstandingly fancy. We have seen, for example, in the Chinese tech tree, the WMA 301, which is just outstanding in some capabilities at a little bit lower battle rating. And we also have seen the Italian VRCC that is absolutely fantastic and looks even better, if I might say this. So, what do I think? Well, to be honest, I think that the Rooikat 105 just fits the meta much, much better than the Challenger DS. The shell is more reliable, I get less night battles, and that alone is all the plus points that I need. But sadly, you only have this option. You do not have a more Western style premium tank. I think the VFM5 would be probably a decent premium. The Vickers Mark 7 as well with the speed, you know. But the Rooikat is not just only good enough, it is really fun. But you really have to take care of this driving, of the turning circles, of the braking behavior. That's really a little bit rough and unpolished, but you know, you get to places. A lot of people are so used to strange things in War Thunder, so this might not be a big minus point for most of us. And that is all that I have to say about this tank. And yeah, I had fun. I really liked it, and I want to play it more. So, as you can see, that was the worst shot all day, and to even hours after I played this match, I was still so stupidly furious about this nonsense of a shot that I just dunked into the wall, letting a BMP-1 survive. Ugh. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know if you like this series of premium vehicles, of tanks going through the various different nations. And as usual, give this video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.